Tomorrow's question, you're gonna figure out they all the same. I'm gonna start with this question here. What you guys get for answer for this one?
Which one? Number one?
No. I'm gonna talk about common denominators because common denominator all question they're all the same. You're like, oh my god, there's so many different ideas. I have to memorize all this. I hate when people doing that. They try to study math. You can study math. You can look at a paper says I'm studying math. You actually do them and think about the concept relationships. And if you don't able to do that, you're not gonna win. Okay, so anybody got an answer for this one? Raise your hand if you got an answer. Yeah. Let me ask. Kushan, did you get an answer for this one? Why you didn't do it? That's weak. Kaden, did you get this one?
I thought about it. I didn't get all it.
What the hell? Chase? What's your answer? A bit, what's your answer?
I got 14 as well.
Lucas, did you get 14?
Got 12.
Lena, did you get answer? I'm gonna talk about this. Is the same damn questions as every other question that we give out. And you're gonna be like, dude, that's a really easy. This is f of f prime of x. How do you get to f of x? Integral, duh, let's write it down. Let's integrate this. Well, it give you a 4 and 0. That is the bound. 0 to 4. And then f of 4 minus f of 0. On AP exam, if you write this out, you get a point. You don't even have to solve it. F of 4 is what? 2. Minus f of 0. What is this? Area under the curve. This is 4. This is 6. So it'll be 4 times 6 divided by 2. Which is negative because it's below x-axis. So that's equal to what? Negative 12 equal to 2 minus f of 0. F of 0 is equal to what?
Wait, no.
2 minus negative 12. That's equal to 14. And answer done. Beautiful. And you're gonna be at Mr. You never told me. I never teach you why it's 4 people ever to solve a problem. Because they understand the concept. And the rest of you guys don't willing to think about it. Is that will to solve the problem. Lena, you have no will to think. You have to have that will to solve the problem. There was a difference between a good math student and a bad math student. There was a big difference. Is that belief that they will be able to solve the problem. In this class, a bit does that. Claire has that. Elsa has that. And they are very good at it. They're very, very good at it. And that's why in first period, I posed a problem to 3 students, Alejandro, Lucia, and Chris. I said, hey, there's a problem you never seen before. I never been taught before. And they have to solve that problem. Okay, figure out. I'm not teaching you. I give you enough information. Okay. Question like this. Let me draw out something. I usually draw like this. There is a plant right? It's processing gravels. There is things that goes in and there are things goes out, right? And the domain is between 0 to 8. Why 0 to 8? Because they say work day is 0 to 8. Every question is always give you some type of domain. Every question also give you a initial condition. Do you see an initial condition here?
Initial condition K equals 0, 500.
Good. So you are reading. Awesome. And write down I see. Initial condition. Bless you.
Thank you.
Did I miss you here? Never did this problem before. But look at it. Unit tells you everything too. Look at the units. Like tons per hour. In terms of SVA, what kind of unit is this? S is a position, V is a velocity, and acceleration. What kind of unit is this? This is a velocity, right? This is a velocity. Velocity is equal to rate of change, right? Rate of change, right? Is equal to rate, right? So that's ton per hour. If I integrate, what will happen? Position. So what will be the unit in here? If I integrate meter per second, what am I going to get? Meter, right? Same thing. Same exact thing. So G prime of 5, which is, that's G of t. So I can do A, and I can say G of t is equal to 90 plus 45 cosine of t squared. In this case is t squared, sorry, over 18. And I'm going to do G prime of t. Do I calculate by hand or do I use calculator? Well, I use calculator. And I'm just going to be, what was the function?
90 plus 45.
90 plus 45.
Cosine practically t squared over 18. Okay.
Right? It's going to give you this. And you're like, damn, there's no graph. But look at it. Think about it. It's between what value and what value? 0 and 8. So I'm going to do -1 to 9. Is that okay? And think about it. Look at the equation. What's the value there? 90 plus 45. So it's probably between above 90 or somewhat above below 90. So I can do range. I can say that's like maybe like a 150. So this is the thing. This is the graph, but I don't need a graph. I just want to show you how to adjust your window. So, but we do G prime of 5, so we're gonna go to G prime of 5. So G prime of 5. You know how to use calculator, right? Same idea, right? And it's negative 24.58. So this one's negative 24.58. I don't know what is that. 7. And this is a negative. What will be the unit here? Does that make sense? So you can say the rate of change is decreasing at negative 24.587 tons per hour square, and done. The rate of change of arrival, gravel arrival. Does that make sense? B. Find the total amount of unprocessing gravel that arrived the plant during the hour operation on this workday.
Total amount of so that'd be amount under the graph. The amount under the curve.
So am I looking for G prime of phi or G of phi, or I'm looking for what?
I think they're looking for. They're not looking for anything to do with 5. They're actually doing it with 8.
Okay, so for 8, so it'll be 0 to what?
To 8.
8, right? And then that will be G of t, right?
50. Lowercase because you're putting.
Actually, it's uppercase. So it'll be integration. If you don't know how to do integration between 0 to 8, it's a 825, 825.51, 825 point what?
551.
What's a unit?
Tons.
That's it.
Because
Wow,
we're
it's
looking at
so hard. It's so difficult, but it's not.
Because it gives you the boundary, it gives you the rate, so you just need to, it gives you the rate that it gives you rate of change to begin with. So to kind of figure out your amount, you're trying to figure out your end. You're trying to figure out amount in something. Then it gives you just.
Does this make sense? Now let's go to the next one. So they say amount. The subject is the amount. So that means this is a displacement, right? But increasing to decreasing of the displacement is what? Velocity. Which is in this case, I'm looking for what? G of 5, G prime of 5, integration of 5. What is it? What is it?
We're trying to.
G of 5. Thank you. So this G of 5. But we're compared to what? They are unprocessing gravel. There are a things that there's a plant, right? And there's an in and there's an out. So in is what? G of 5 is what? Well, I don't know what G of 5 is. So what is G of 5? 98.14.
Is that are we using it greater or less than the amount that it's in?
So
Coming in.
the out is the
Less.
out rate is what? 100, right? So that means this one is going to be negative 1.852 decrease, right?
Yes.
Because this one is less than the rate of 100. So decreasing by 1.82, or you compare to 100, see which one's bigger. Is that okay? Last one. What is the maximum amount of unprocessed gravel at a plant during the hour of operation? Pay attention. There's one information I have not used yet. Which information?
Rate of decrease?
No.
Your
Initial condition. Why do I need including my initial conditions?
because it's talking about the
Yes, talking about total. What is it before?
500.
Yeah, 500. So they say maximum amount. What does that mean? I need to do a table. Remember the table? T. Right? And this is amount, right? And I'm going to do 0 and 8, and there's a critical number. Well, where's the critical number? That means when the net becomes 0.
The what?
The net becomes 0. So what is this one, right? So I'm going to do the net. Why is the net? In minus out. So I'm graphing another function. I'm going to say f of x is equal to g of x
Minus 500.
minus 100. So this is the graph I'm interested in, not a graph on the top. This is called the net graph. So 4.93. So integration of 4.9, I don't know, 4.923.
Hold on. Why are we doing that?
Because this, think about it, this is the plant. The whole time, the plant is accumulate the gravels.
And that's when it's the
That's gonna be the maximum gravel right here. Because after that, the gravel is gonna go down because there's more out than in. And actually, they are in cycles, if you pay attention, because of cosine. So it's a cosine function. So it's in more than out. Yeah.
And then you add 500 specifically do minus 100 and take out the processing of the 100.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's gonna be at 0. It's gonna be 500. At this, it's a 500 plus integration from 0 to 4.93 of g of t minus 100. Why? Because that's in, that's out, right? And then I can take integration of that. I can say integration of I'm gonna integration from 0 to what?
4.923.
923
Yeah.
of f of x or g of x?
G of x.
Of f of x in this case.
135.
And I'm gonna add 500 in the front. Oops. $635.37, 376. And I'm gonna do the 1 for 8 as well because I need a candidate. Is 525.551. $500 what?
525.551.
So what's the maximum? This is the maximum. Candidate. It's any concept that we did not talk about. The idea is freaking same. It's like a different problem. So this is the type of problem we call a net rate problem. So when I see this problem, I think about net rate. When I see the FTC problem, or I see the kinematic problem, they are very intuitive. I just have to relate it to that. So my brain's gonna directly to think about FTC. My thing's gonna think about kinematic. My thing's gonna think about net rate. Okay, so when you look at a question, think about what kind of style of the question. This is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. This is 30, 60, 90. The applying still the same way. Does that make sense?
Is this one a test one?
Yeah. You think you can do this?
Saying yesterday with the Desmos on the laptop. Are we doing that?
I'm gonna say no. I think like people need to use calculator, but even though it's obsolete. Like some people like says I don't know. So I think about Mr. Cooper's class stats. I know like, does he allow decimals or no? Anybody taking Mr. Cooper? Huh? Well, Andrew told me he says it's not allowed. It just makes easier for me to test you. I think if you know how to use graphing calculator, you know how to use decimals. You should practice on both. It's not as hard. So I think Joshua got mad at me on first second period. I don't really care because he's smart enough. I think like intuitively helping you muscle memory better, it will be better to use calculator. That's what I believe. So if you don't have one, go get one in the library. Know how to use it. It's not a big deal.
The library doesn't have one. The lady with the dog, Archie, has them.
The lady with the dog.
Yeah, Archie.
Oh, so can you ask that lady with the dog?
Yeah.
If you don't have one, I have one. I just need to charge them. Yes.
How could you do?
No, I have one. I just don't want to give out. I have a lot,
How can we do?
but I have TI Inspire, so I don't have TI E4. Yeah, but I won't bother Mr. Ollie because his student has to accommodate that too.
How can we do this graph? We did it on decimals.
Sorry, can you just pull that back? I was trying to type.
So you don't know how to do it in calculator?
I think I know how to.
Okay, so which calculator you have? Okay, so TI-84. Well, TI-84. So this is the way I did it.
What?
This is a 90 plus this. Graph it. I do integration. This is the area under the curve. They will show you. Second calc. 7. From 0 to what? 4.923. That's gonna be like this. There will be 135. And you had to add 500, right? And if I do 0 to 8, that's gonna give you this part. So it'll be 25. 25 plus 500 is 525. Krishan is slow. That's what I heard. Y1 minus Y2. Because this is a this minus 100. This is in minus out. I just do integrate of those. This one. I grab the only Y3 because Y3 is my net. Krishan, you're slow.
But he only has the third one right now because he did
And so how do you say so it goes on so it shows everything beneath?
What?
You how do you
it makes it not show.
which one of these has it read everything below the line?
7. Yeah, integration. Dude, think about it. Read and think. No bound, 0. 4.292. Huh? Yeah, usually people actually hate it once they're allowed to use calculator. They'll be like, I don't like calculator.
I know.
Wait, but how can you do the numbers for the collaborator?
It's how you're supposed to. I learned this from Mr. Allen too.
You want me to teach you? Come here. Do you know how to do it?
For Inspire, yeah. The window. You just tell me to use the document.
You have these documents, use a scratch pad.
Same thing.
I actually don't know the difference.
I got 85.55109.
Scratch pad is all random.
I don't need to save anything.
But scratch part, you can like redo it. It just, I mean, and they still save inside.
Yeah, it seems inside, but the only issue
Yeah,
would be
this
is
could
that,
get
like,
something
um,
wow.
Frank was doing something that required like a,
I
I forgot what it was called.
don't even know how to color the thing. But you hated the area.
Dude, think about which one's the area.
No, I found it.
Think about which one's the area.
No, I found the area, but that doesn't move. I only can move like this.
No, they
But-
asked you to type in the low bound. What's the low bound?
It's the lower bound. The 0?
Yeah, type in 0, enter.
The problem is I did that again with this.
What?
If you go to Y,
Okay, second calc, 7 between 0 to 4.923. They should give you value. 627. But the problem is if you graph, no, you're supposed to do this. Whoa.
so I need to turn off viewing the top one.
Because you need to find which one.
Oh, it was wrong. It was wrong. Everyone it was wrong.
Yeah, so this depends on you.
I don't know what we got as an answer though.
Do 0 to 4.923 plus 500.
Yeah, but this got -126.
What? You didn't do it. I just do a random number.
I mean, you showed me to do the 0 to 8. But then, how do I do the other thing? You like, because you did the 0 to 8, right? And then what did you do after that?
What do you mean?
Like, didn't you have the other part? highlighted?
0 to 8 is one part. 0 to 4.923 is the maximum.
And then, and then I would do 0 to 8 to find the total.
0 to 8 is total. 0 to 4.923 is the maximum.
And I understand the next step. The next step is you need to manually add 500 to whenever I get there. Because that is an automatic fit to it and
That's a rounding.
then just use more fortunately it's USB.
Is keep on losing charge or what?
I need it back to class end, but I am going to be coming here after.
I'm charging it all the time with Android. It's
Do you plug into the socket or do you plug in the computer? Computer is way slower.
because like
It'll be easier to plug
it's
in the
so
socket.
it's so weird because it was showing like when I plugged it into the computer that it was like fully charged. And I took it out and immediately it said fully charged, right? And then like 5 minutes later, it went back down.
You don't take any charge. It's actually ruin the battery if you charge through the things.
So just it's the whole next time.
And then it gives you 5.
Okay, try to calculate question. This one, try it. See what happened.
Which one?
This the rainwater one.
Mr. Yang.
What? What?
Can you show the table you made? It's not mine. Oh, that's something.
I think I got it.
She's a pretty good with calculator. Last year I realized that too.
Like, do we have any homework today? Or just gonna be like review
I'll give you 3 more questions first.
of that? Okay.
Can you give us a question like this for homework? Thank you.
You know,
I'll regrade the test.
grade test? Ooh,
I mean, you don't have to if you don't
I
want to.
know, like, after ask Mr. Palmer, we're doing Friday.
Wait,
Huh?
After ask Mr. Palmer, we're doing Friday.
I'll sign you out.
Like, you go to have the
This is the Wim Nin's dad.
I have the input graph.
I
have
am
the
Donald
output
Lin.
Graph. Oh, like, I think my mom called before and it didn't work. Like, you have to go to the front office to do that. I have the input graph, I have the output graph, and I have y1 minus y2. Now, the thing is, how do I find the 0?
find the 0 for the